Notes Weekly.
If you are buying your first home in New Zealand, you generally need a 20% deposit. But depending on your situation and the type of home that you're going to purchase, you may be able to borrow with just 10% deposit. In our experience in purchasing our first home, we had to provide the full 20% deposit. So that means that if you are purchasing a home which costs about $450,000, then you have to provide a deposit of 20%, is $90,000, or if it is at 10%, that's 45,000 New Zealand dollars. And at this point, you may be asking, how much does it cost to buy a house in New Zealand?
Using this residential property data from June 2021, we can see that the national median price was at $820,000. The price of houses can vary per region. For example, in Auckland, the median price was at $1,150,000. On the other hand, the median price in West Coast was at $284,000. Now, I am just showing you the summary so that you'll have an idea about the average housing price per region in New Zealand. When you start looking around in your area, the asking price may be cheaper or more expensive than average, depending on the location and the home you are buying. For example, a move-in ready versus a fixer-upper.
And before we dive into the exciting details of buying your first home, if we are just meeting, kia ora, my name is Binibining Veronica. I am a Filipino Kiwi nurse living in New Zealand, and on this channel I talk about nursing and life in New Zealand. So if you're new here, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. Salamat po! Now, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm just sharing my experience as a first home buyer here in New Zealand. So just keep that in mind. And for this video, let's group our to-do list into 5 different phases.
We'll start with thinking of buying, then finding a property, researching the property, making an offer, and settling and moving in.
Thinking of buying, specifically agreeing on your goals.
Decide on what you are looking for in a home and what your goals are. Obviously, this will vary if you're buying on your own or if you're buying with your spouse, partner, or a relative. Again, there will be some impact depending on where you are at in your life, if you want to start a family, or if you have young kids, or if you have an empty nest.
In my experience, I became serious about buying a first home in my late 20s. At that time, I was in a committed relationship, so my partner and I bought our house together, and we thought, for our future, we're thinking of having a family at that time. So we thought having a home with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, a double garage would be really ideal. We also preferred homes that were built after the year 2000, only because we work full time and admittedly we're not very good in renovation. So a move in ready house was a must for us. Nice to have on our list. Preferably the house is made of bricks instead of weatherboard. That's just a personal preference for us. Preferably fully fenced for child safety purposes, and ideally close to our workplace, like 15 minutes max one way.
Around this time, it will also be good to sort out your finances, identifying how much you can borrow or afford, investigating on understanding your loan options before you take out a home loan. So, in this step, it may be good to have a preliminary conversation with your bank or possible lender for a bank pre approval.
This is also the time for us where we ask for our bank's pre-approval. We just did it over the phone. However, as we are looking for a possible property, we've kind of decided we wanted to increase our budget. So we ended up talking to a mobile mortgage manager instead, which was also a staff member of the bank, and he visited us at home. So we had a more personalized conversation around that, and he gave us pre approval as well. So, yeah, it was a very straightforward process for us.
Around this time, you may also want to build your crew. You'll need a bank or mortgage broker, a lawyer, and an insurer.
Number 2, finding the property. And on that to do list would be learning the lingo. So, the more prepared you are, the less confusing the process will be for you.
It's important to learn about the methods of sale, such as auction, by tender, negotiation, or buying by advertised price. It's also good to know about the types of property ownership, freehold versus cross lease, and how to identify the risk and potential issues.
Attending an open home, what an exciting time. In my experience, actually visiting the property in person helped confirm what we really don't like in a property or what we absolutely love.
Once you know what you're looking for in a home and what red flags to watch out for, you can start viewing homes. Homes are advertised in different websites like trademe.co.nz, realestate.co.nz, and homesale.co.nz.
By the way, if you are enjoying this conversation so far, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That will really help with my channel. Anyway, next on our to-do list is researching the property. So you really have to do your homework. When you've found a property that you want to buy, it's important to get as much information as possible before you make an offer. Out of curiosity, sometimes I would even ask real estate agents why the vendor is selling the property. I don't know, I'm just a curious little soul, so.
Part of researching the property also includes understanding the issues and hazards. Doing your homework means you can make informed decisions. For example, you learn about any significant repairs you need to make.
Now, next phase is making an offer, and in this phase, it's really important to understand the offer process. The offer process will vary depending on the method of sale of the property.
For example, a multi-offer process happens when another buyer also puts an offer on the property that you want. Ask the agent to clearly explain the process and make sure you talk to your lawyer. Once you have confirmed your finance, you can now make a conditional or unconditional offer. With some method of sale, you can make a conditional offer. Example, the sale is subjected to a property inspection report or finance. You can always ask your lawyer for advice.
And then, of course, you have to meet the conditions. And any conditions that you've included in that purchase of that property must be completed at the definite date. And finally, the last phase, settling in and moving in. Congratulations! And obviously, before you get too excited, make sure you make a good plan for your settlement day.
Plan for your settlement day. There are a number of things you need to do before settlement day to make sure everything runs smoothly. This includes arranging an inspection of the property before settlement day. This is the pre-settlement inspection. You also need to make sure your purchase finance is ready before settlement day. Your property insurance needs to be in place before settlement. Property settlement is largely a legal process, so your lawyer or conveyancer will help you on this one. And finally, the information in this video may not cover everything you need to know, so you should always get advice from your own lawyer or conveyancer. There are a number of things that need to happen on settlement day, and your lawyer or conveyancer will manage most of them for you. But just for your reference, your lawyer or conveyancer will pay for the property using the authority you signed a few days earlier, and the money is paid to the seller via the seller's lawyer or conveyancer, who gives your lawyer or conveyancer a receipt of payment. When this is completed, your lawyer or conveyancer will tell you the sale has gone through, and you can collect the keys from the seller's agent. The seller's lawyer or conveyancer will release documents to your lawyer or conveyancer, who will arrange for the transfer of ownership and to have your details and the details of your bank or lending company recorded on the record of title. Congratulations! You now have your first home.
So yes, I hope that helped you somehow. As always, I wish you all the best with your journey, and I hope you will be blessed. I'll see you soon. Bye! Don't forget to check my other videos.